everyone, so today we are going to be showing you all of my Snow White dolls and also my other Snow White merchandise. I don't know when I'll get around to doing the rest of my Disney collections, but in the future I will do ones for Little Mermaid and Pocahontas and stuff. I just don't know exactly when. So Snow White means a lot to me, and growing up I always watched Snow White, and it was definitely one of my favorites. We even had the Golden Films version of Snow White that we enjoyed watching. But it never resonated with me as being one of my favorites. I didn't really think of it that way. But when I got back into dolls in 2011, that was the last year my dad was alive, and he knew I was really into Disney, and he would go out and find dolls sometimes at secondhand places when I wasn't with him. And he happened to find a lot of Snow White stuff. And ever since then, Snow White's just meant something really unique to me for that reason. So a lot of these dolls are deeply sentimental because of that, and I don't know, I guess now I love collecting Snow White as much as Aladdin, even if the dolls look more the same. And so I'm going to show you each doll and tell you a little bit about her. If you want to see pictures of these dolls, especially if you're looking to identify them, check out my guide on Flickr. I have an album just for Snow White. So without further ado, let's get to it. So we're going to start with my non-doll Snow White merchandise. I just have these 5 stuffed dwarves. So I have Bashful, Happy, Sleepy, Doc, and Sneezy. My dad found these all for me at the flea market. I don't remember if he found them all in one day or in 2 different trips, but I'm pretty sure they all came from the same flea market. So these are actually Disney store ones, and they were already used when I got them, which is why they don't look as nice, but they're super high quality and I just adore them. And then these 2 are actually in their little packages when I got them, and I don't find them to be as cute and cuddly as the Disney store ones, but they're very special to me too because, like I said, my dad found them. And then we have Oliver and Andy. I don't usually collect porcelain dolls, but I do have 2 brass key ones. So I think this is the 03 one and this is the 04 one. Yep. Colleen found this doll at the Salvation Army.
Yeah, my kids used to go there to do work study, and I got her for really cheap. I don't remember how much it was anymore, but it was, I want to say $8. I got her for $8. She was jammed in the wrong box, actually. And she reminds me of Shelly's signature doll, so I brought her home.
But she's actually was still on her original
She was in her, yeah, she was just like our American Girl Maya. She was in the wrong box top, but the right bottom
layer thing, the tray. So ever since Colleen got me this doll, I kind of wanted to find more brass key ones, and I've actually seen this one a lot at the flea market, but people always want too much money for her. And then I want to say about a year ago, so in 2017, I found this lady at the local Salvation Army, the same one Colleen found this one at, and she's in kind of rough shape. You can see she's missing a thumb, and she's in one of my transformation videos. I had to wash her, and I had to glue her wig back on and her eyelashes, but she's really cool, and now Snow White has a friend. And then this is my other big girl. This is from the Disney store, and she sings. And I got her with some Moxie girls in the fall of 2016 at the flea market, and she was only $1, I think.
Yep.
Which was really cool because she's oversized. Then we have my Mattel dolls now. So these are the 3 classic Snow Whites. So these are the original Mattel Snow White dolls. And this was actually one of my very first Disney dolls that I got as an adult collector. I got her, I think she was the first one I got boxed, at the flea market. Yep. She was from an indoor flea market, and I remember this guy had her, and he wanted $20 for her, and I remember walking around and thinking about whether or not I wanted to buy her, and then I ended up going back and buying her. And then my dad was like, you should have had me go over there and barter with him because that was too much money. But I'm really glad to have her, and she has a converting outfit. And then these 2 I got at the flea market in different lots. So if I'm remembering right, she was from the Happy Family lot of 2012, and she has Kanekalon hair, whereas my other 2 have Saran, and she's been on my display for a really, really long time, and she's wearing the alternate peasant gown. And then this lady, I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering right, she came from the Ken Suitcase lot of 2016, and she's really cute. I like her face a lot. I think she has the prettiest face of the 3. Special Sparkles Snow White. I got her used at the flea market in 2014. So there's kind of a story behind her. These people had this basket of like really nice looking dolls. One of them being my original Tycho Ariel. If you are familiar with the original Tycho Ariel, she's really funny looking. She's like got that awful colored maroon hair and like the really, really tan skin. So they had her in the basket and Snow White. And I wanted both of them, but they were like $5 each. And I wasn't sure if I had enough money to buy them both, and I was like, if it's between the really weird looking Ariel or the Snow White, I'm gonna have to go with the Snow White, because, you know, she's Snow White. So she's really cool. I like the sparkle eyes. I don't usually like these a whole lot on dolls. And then we have my birthday Snow White. I got her really early on. I actually got her from the same indoor flea market as classic Snow White over here. She was also boxed, and she was a really good deal. I don't remember exactly how much she cost anymore, like maybe 10 bucks. But I saw her quite a bit at that flea market, and I don't know why it took me so long to finally buy her, but Dad bought her for me one day, and she's kind of like the predecessor to the 2002 Princess Party line. You can see her right there. And that was one of my favorite lines as a kid, so the cool thing is these Happy Birthday dolls were originally supposed to be like a series, but they only ever released Snow White. She's got this really cool dress. This is one of my favorites. This is Signature Snow White, the original one. She is the most amazing thing ever. She's like a petticoat and underwear. She comes with a little bird. She's like my best quality Snow White doll by far. And when I got my Disney Doll Identification Guide in 2011, actually I got it in 2010, she was my favorite Snow White doll in the book, and I just fell in love with her. She has the most gorgeous face. She is the prettiest Snow White doll I think ever made, and I really, really wanted her, so I found this one on eBay. I don't remember how much she cost anymore, but she was actually like already taken out of the package when I got her, so she was a little bit cheaper for that reason, but she was like brand new, and I just love her to bits and pieces. She's like so, so stunning. Then we have Princess Story's Snow White. I got her the same day that I got my American Girl Nellie at the flea market. So this was in 2014, in July of 2014. I had found Nellie for like $25, and then a few minutes later, this woman that I bought like other Disney dolls from in the past had Princess Story, Cinderella, and Snow White, and I wasn't sure if I had enough money. I was like shy a few dollars, and if I had to have picked, I said to Colleen I was going to leave Cinderella behind, because obviously like Snow White takes precedent.
The trend here.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Other dolls get snubbed for Snow White, but the lady luckily let us have both for a few dollars off, and she's one of my favorites. I love the Princess Stories line. They come with these really cool miniature golden books and like little figurines. Then we have my favorite Fairytale Snow White. Again, one of my favorite lines, because I actually grew up with this line. I had Pocahontas. Now, my first one here is from eBay, and if you watch my Aladdin video, then you would know the story behind like most of my original My Favorite Fairytale dolls is that this guy was selling them on eBay for a friend because his friend's sister passed away, and she was a doll collector, and they found a few bags of Disney dolls at her house. And I don't know, the story really touched me, and I thought it was really nice of the guy to be like doing a favor for his friend. So yeah, she's always been really, really special. And then her twin over here I got at the Salvation Army. She was in this like big zipper case. I got her in 2013, and I bought it for some other Disney dolls that were in there. Then we have my two Holiday Princess dolls. I'm gonna say it again. Also one of my favorite lines. I have this whole set, and Snow White was actually my second one from the set, I think. I think I had her before Cinderella. And I got her really, really early on into my adult doll collection. I got her in like the spring of 2011. So there's this whole story about this guy who had Bratz dolls, who we now call Bratz Guy. And at the time, I had not bought like any Bratz dolls as an adult. And then that one day, I ended up buying like several. Well, he had this huge box filled with Bratz dolls that I always regretted not buying the whole thing of, because it turns out I left World Twins Peyton behind. Anyways, long story short, I did get the bin way later on, but it was gutted. However, Snowy was one of the ones I picked out, hand-picked out, because I recognized her, and we searched for her dress for several minutes. And then her little twin here, she came from the flea market as well, same one, but I got her in 2014 on Memorial Day, actually. She was in the Memorial Day bin, and those dolls were the most...
It was the dirtiest bin we've ever had.
Yes.
I mean, we usually like look through the dolls before we wash anything to try to identify them. I was like, no, Shelly, these dolls get washed.
There was actual like dirt and
was
like
gross
food
the
in
same
there
way.
with them. She had mold stains all over her thighs that I managed to get out, so yeah, they were moldy, poor things. Then we have Charming Princess Snow White. She's kind of weird looking, and my doll's face has gone like that pasty yellow color from just like age that happens to dolls.
We bought it from a regular seller a long time ago.
Yeah, I bought a lot of my earlier flea market brads from her, and sadly I don't have any of her charms, and her dress is pretty beat up. So I'd definitely buy another one if I saw one in good condition. Then we have Princess Party Snow White, one of my favorites, and if you can't tell, I had a lot of fun with her stand.
And I just want to say for the record, she almost left her behind.
I know.
I was the one that, I don't know, Shelly sometimes, like, I don't know what happens. She did this with, like, 3rd edition kids Yasmin, too. It's like Shelly just gets this, like, sickness where she can't make a really good decision and buy a doll she's always wanted.
I think what it is sometimes I'm, like, really overly shoppy, and I just, like, feel compelled to buy anything and everything. And then other times I'm on, like, the polar end where I don't feel like buying anything, and I feel, like, extra cheap in those moments, and she was
$5.
Yeah, but she was more than that because originally she was shoved back in her box, and we pulled her out, and I realized she didn't have her shoes, so we managed to get her cheaper. We got her from Bratz Guy, actually.
Yep.
So same as her, but I got her in 2017. She's one of my favorites. I like this even more than that birthday Snow White. She's amazing. I almost bought her on eBay many times.
And then you almost left her behind.
I know. Like I said, weird day. Then we have Glitter Princess. I think I bought her separately. I don't even remember anymore, but she's really cool. I love this line. They have really neat patterns, and I also had a lot of fun making her stand. She's got really pretty twinkles in her eyes. 2 Shimmer Princess Snow Whites from 2008. So this is when they started using like the Hobbit bodies. The first one was this lady. Now, there's this charity store we go to sometimes after I have my dentist appointment. It's kind of far away, so we only go like when we're out in that area. And she was like naked and in horrible shape and leaking lots of glue. And I kind of thought she was ugly because she has like a lot of lip liner. But I bought her anyways because I felt so bad and I didn't want to leave her behind. Then my second girl over here, I got not long after. She was wearing this outfit, and I remember she was like sitting on this bookshelf this woman was selling at our local flea market, and I think she was like $1. And she was in much better condition. She still had her outfit, and she's super pretty. I find my first one to be really jarring to look at because she's like very high color. Then we have my 3 2008 sparkling princesses. So this is the most special Snow White doll in my collection of like my actual Snow White dolls, not like her affiliated characters. This is one of the dolls that my dad found for me the first year I got back into collecting. And I remember it was the day he bought me some of those Dwarves. He called me on the phone and he asked me if I had sparkling Snow White. And I thought, because I was so new to collecting, he meant 2001 Sparkling Snow White, which if you watch my Aladdin video, then you know that's my favorite Jasmine doll of all time. So I was really excited. And then he comes home and he has this like ugly Hobbit Snow White, and I was mortified. Like, oh my god, why did you buy me this doll? But I didn't want to like say anything because it was really nice of him to buy me her. But after I like got her out of the box and cleaned her up, I thought she was really cute. She's kind of what made me love these newer Snow White dolls. And I remember looking at other dolls from around that same time frame on eBay and thinking they were really cool. And if you're wondering why her eyebrows are chipped, there's a really sad story. It was loaded with glue, the gluey, leaky heads that happen on Mattel dolls. And there was a time in like 2012 where I was like, it really bothered me. And I tried all kinds of things to get rid of the glue. And since she was one of the worst dolls in my collection with it, I tried all kinds of things like popping her head off and putting different things inside her head. And basically at some point, because she's a cheaper doll, her eyebrows just flaked off. And that is why I stopped doing like aggressive glue treatments on dolls, because on some of these newer dolls, they just can't take it. Anyways, I found a totally safe way to treat the glue now, which there will be a tutorial on that very soon. I've been working on it, and it does not involve glue guns. But I still love her anyways, and she will always be my favorite in my collection. But because her eyebrows got screwed up, I bought this doll when I saw her at the flea market for like, I don't know, $1 or $2. And she looks a lot different though. Like, she's got like a really small squinched in face. She looks like almost like a piggy because of the way her face is painted, but she's really cute and she's in really nice shape. So I'm glad I have her. And then this is the original variation. So you can see like there's actually a facial difference. This is when they swapped over head molds and like facial screening styles. So she's definitely the prettier one. Now, this one will always be the more sentimental one to me, but I do think this doll is more attractive, and I wanted this doll when I saw her on eBay back then, and I found her naked. Ken's suitcase guy, he had her, and I think he gave her to me for like $1 or something. She was naked, but I had her outfit already. Then we have the 2008 Ultimate Disney Princess pack Snow White. So she was like a Target exclusive, sold in a big pack with other Disney princesses. And she's like the same doll as Shimmer Princess. She just has like a plain dress, as you can see. So I got her on eBay with the rest of the dolls in her set in like the fall of 2014 because I really, really want to move on. And I think she's super pretty. And I like collecting strange variations like this. I don't know why. I don't usually go for dolls with molded clothes. It's one of my pet peeves unless there's a really good reason for their clothes to be molded. But I am such a sucker for Snow White. So this guy had like a 2 for $3 deal, and there was some other doll I bought with her that day that I really wanted. So I just picked Snow White to be my second one, and I made her this like little flower crown, and she is really cute. She has a beautiful face. And we have 2009 Sparkling Princess Snow White. This is a Disney Store fashion pack, if you're wondering. And I got her also from Ken's suitcase guy, naked. And what I like about her, she has this really short flippy hair, and she reminds me of one of my Mary-Kate dolls, Travel and Style Mary-Kate, who also has really short flippy hair. So, I don't know, she's like Snow White and Mary-Kate merged into one. Then we have 2013 Signature Snow White. So this is when they like updated the signature line. Not as nice as the original, but I remember like ogling her in Toys R Us every time we went, and I almost bought her because I did buy 2 of the villains. However, I ended up waiting, and I got her at the flea market for like, what, $10?
Yeah, you got a good deal on it.
Yeah, I got her inside of the flea market. So I was really excited to find her. She's in one of my Flickr treasure hunt pictures from several years ago. I think I got her in 2015. She's really cute. I love her face, and she has like articulated arms. And then we're on to my Disney Store girls. I have 2. This is the original like 2000 Disney Store Snow White. So I used to hate these as a kid. Now don't hate me if you like loved these growing up, but I thought they looked like fakey dolls. And I had never like been in a Disney store until I was like 11, and I was appalled that that was what they came up with. So I had like a whole boycott as a kid against the Disney store. But then as an adult, I don't know, I got over it. Like, I have all these Bicken dolls that are way cheaper looking. So I got her at the Salvation Army. I actually bought her separately. And I straightened her hair because it was really nasty now. And I think she's super cute and super pretty. And I do think she kind of resembles Snow White. And her outfit is really nice quality. Don't you think?
I like her.
But I don't like her as much as this Disney Store Snow White. I mean, this face mold is to die for. She is also from a pack, the 2013, like, huge pack. And Colleen bought me this set before she got her, like, started working at her current job. She felt bad that I'd be home by myself. Because as I said in my Aladdin video, that was like the year after my dad passed away, so we had pretty much been together all the time up until that point. So she bought me these Disney dolls.
It was a guilt gift.
Yeah, and they're some of my absolute favorites. She's actually...
I just remember carrying that huge box out of the mall.
I know. She's actually the only one of my Disney Store dolls that does not hold the little book, because she's on a stand. So actually, this Snow White is the one that holds the little book. My dad bought me these like little mini books. So these are the books I'm talking about. I mentioned them in my Aladdin video. They were like a little kid set. See, they're like little mini pop-up books. And my dad found these at a yard sale. He saw them and he thought they'd be really cute on display with my dolls. And there was actually a little girl who was asking her mom how much these cost, and then he snagged it when she walked away to ask her mom how much they were. I don't condone that, okay? Like, even though I love dolls, if there's kids looking at dolls, I always give them space because I would never want to be that person.
I will grab the doll before the kid.
I feel too guilty.
I'm evil.
Because I was like, you know, a little kid once too, so I remember what that was like. But, yeah, so these are the little books I talk about, and my special dolls always hold these on display because they were from Dad. And these dolls were from Colleen. But see, this Snow White was from Dad, so that's her book. So if you watch my videos regularly, musical Princess Snow White should look familiar because her arm broke off at the beginning of this year. And there was a whole segment in her in Dolly Diaries. Yes, what did you do? Tell them.
I went to get the Bicken Prince to compare something he was wearing to some unknown item in storage. and his stand took her out by the head, and she went flying off the shelf, and her arm fell off. And I felt like a bad person.
Yes. And we were going to call SPOD, the Society for the Protection of Dolls.
They were going to lock me in jail.
So I did finally fix it, if you want to see that video. I wanted this doll for a really long time because my first year back into collecting, I saw one at this like gross indoor flea market just rotting there, but she was filthy and the guy wanted $10 and she was like used and didn't have her stuff. So I had to leave her behind, but I always kind of regretted it and I felt sorry for her. But then a few years later in 2015, I found a bag with musical princess Snow White, Cinderella, and Jasmine at an antique store, and that's where she came from. Then we have Perfume Princess Snow White. She's from the gift set. So Mom and Dad bought this gift set of $5 for calling it a split, and I ended up with Cinderella and Snow White because I already had Jasmine. So Colleen got Jasmine, Aurora, and Belle. Now, I wasn't too happy about having the two shorter haired dolls because I wanted Jasmine, but Colleen played with Snow White a lot more than I did as a kid. It's funny. You played with Snow White and Cinderella more than
and you played with Jasmine.
Yeah. So I don't know why we did that. You can tell she's in really bad shape. And she was actually my only Snow White doll I had growing up. So that's why none of these were my childhood dolls, because this was my only one. And then this is Pocket Friends Snow White. So these are Avon dolls. Now my doll had like Australian packaging, so I don't know if like that's what Avon did. I'm not really sure. I think they were sold here in the US, but through Avon. And I saw her at the flea market one of the first times we went, when we went out hunting for dolls. And she was $2 still sealed in like this package. It was like a plastic package with like a card in it and that she was attached to. It was really weird packaging. So she's super cute and super pretty. So this is my queen, signature queen. When these went on sale at Toys R Us, I want to say they were like 10 each. I bought her and Ursula from this set, and sadly I don't think you can take her outfit off because this apple, she's really pretty. I love her face, and her head is like flocked, like that's what this hood is. It doesn't come off. So she's not like the best quality, but she's really beautiful regardless. But this is my oldie moldy favorite lady. This is the Bicken Eve Queen.
And all her clothes come off, and she actually has hair under that.
Yep, she has
it's like a
red hair. Yeah, I'd show you, but it's like it gets poofy when you take it out. So if you're not familiar, Bicken was the original manufacturer of fashion doll size Snow Whites. So these came out in, I believe, 1986. None of them are box dated, but they came out for like an anniversary of the movie. They made all kinds of them. I love Bicken dolls because they have like Cinderella ones too. They make all kinds of like play sets. They had like a whole cottage they made. And when I first got back into Disney, I learned about these Bicken dolls when I was always shopping on eBay. And I thought, like, I fell in love with this witch doll. That's why I ended up collecting so many. So the story behind the witch, the queen, and one of my prince dolls, this one in the blue outfit, there was also a Snow White that was in the same lot, but I sadly don't have her anymore. So my dad and I got in like a really big fight one day, and this was when he was really sick, and he felt bad because he really hurt my feelings, and he ended up telling me, this was Dad's way of doing things, he wanted to make it up to me by buying me dolls instead of modifying the behavior. So I wanted this lot of dolls, and they were all like out of their boxes, but they still had their boxes because they were displayed at some point. So the witch is my favorite. Her skin does not match, and she's really cheap looking, and she's not wearing anything under this, but except little sheer underwear. But I love her anyways. People have given me a hard time on Flickr about these dolls being ugly, and I get it. They're really cheap, but I love them, and they'll always have a very special place in my heart. So I already had this prince. When I got this lot, I bought him like boxed on eBay because I really wanted a Prince doll, and I wasn't a huge fan of the Disney Store guy back then. I like him now, especially the updated versions. They have a really nice head mold. But he is so handsome, and I love his like, you know, his hairline, and I don't know why his outfit looks more purple. I think it's just the way they've aged. And last but not least, we have my 7 Bicken Dwarves. These are, besides that, Sparkling Snow White, these are my favorites. in my collection. I love these little guys. So these, in my opinion, are the coolest dwarves ever made. Mattel made them too, but they're like plastic figurines. They're not really dolls. These are actually dolls. And they all have unique body and head molds, and all of their clothes come off. Now their clothes are like super cheap, and their hats were glued on, so
and
like
their shoes are molded to them.
Yeah, you can see like the little line there. These are one of my first like expensive eBay purchases. When I got back into collecting, I got the whole lot for 50 bucks, and they had metal stands with that. And that was before I made my own. That's how long I've had them. So, and you can see they each have their own little mini stand. I love these guys, and I don't remember why Dad bought me these. I don't remember if there was like a reason if he bought me them, but he bought me them. And I've actually seen them at the flea market multiple times, like as a whole set of 7 used, or like I've seen a few boxed. I saw them actually like one of the last times I went to the flea market. And Grumpy is my favorite. He always has the best real estate on my display. I just love him. I think he looks so accurate. I know their noses are yellow, but it doesn't bother me. It bothers some people. I don't care. He's so cute. He just really captures the spirit. And then Happy is my second favorite.
I like Happy the most.
He's so accurate. Yeah, these two always have the best places on display. And then obviously, who doesn't love Dopey? He's really cute. And then we have Sneezy, who is actually the first one I opened from this package. I remember they were each wrapped up in bubble wrap, and I remember peeling the bubble wrap and seeing him, and my heart just melted, and I was like screaming about him because I thought he was so
That's
cute.
how I felt when I saw Bashful.
And then Doc was really cute, and actually he played our Uncle David in a little goofy photo Colleen sent a long time ago. There was this whole story back in the day of my cousin trying to put a windshield in his Jeep, and he didn't listen to my Uncle David, and he touched the windshield when it was like sealing, and it cracked the brand new windshield, and my uncle had told him not to do it.
And I was on the phone with Uncle David when this happened, and I could hear him going, "Daddy, what'd you do? I told you it wasn't ready yet."
So Colleen reenacted this photo, this incident with the photo, using Doc as Uncle David and Dopey as Danny, and one of my Brad's dolls is Danny's now wife. And she emailed it to my uncle, and he actually printed it
He
out.
said I had too much time on my hands, though.
So then we have Bashful, who, as Colleen said, she fell in love
I had the strongest feelings toward him when we opened them. I don't know why.
So cute.
He's just so cute.
And then this is Sleepy. He's also really adorable. So I hope you guys enjoyed meeting all of my Snow White dolls. Like I said, if you want to see photos of these like guys and their clothes and other stuff I have for them, you can check out my album on Flickr. And until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.